What does sustainability mean to you?
I think sustainability is a little bit different to each of us, but I think that one thing that we can all agree on that it means is that we want to be able to live our life a certain way now, but we want people to be able to do that generations from now as well. So nothing that we do should preclude other people from being able to have the same experiences that we get to have right now.
This is the pivotal point in history, and the pivot is whether we're going to get the issues, especially of energy, right. Climate change is the single biggest challenge that we face by far. But of course, climate change and energy encompasses almost everything we do, how we travel, how we dispose of our waste, how we act as consumers.
Hi, I'm Nikki, and I'm a College of Charleston undergrad. I know when I first started here, I was pretty overwhelmed. There's tons of classes, all these new buildings, new people. What helped me was getting involved in clubs and paying attention to what my professors said about events. And over time, I started getting involved with different groups like Alliance for Planet Earth and Coastal Conservation League. And that's when I learned more about how my world and how I was living my life was impacting the people around me. And I think that through that, I realized that every single person matters and has an impact.
What I have found over the years is that once you learn about some of these unsustainable situations in the world, that your compassion is so huge that you tend to take action. And even if it's just a little thing, little things add up. And over the course of your time here, you can make a real difference.
What we do as individuals matters immensely. In fact, in a way, that's the only thing that really matters at all, because we aggregate in numbers to be a city, a state, a nation, and a planet. And so unless we start at the individual level, there's no hope for us to do anything above that.
There's 12,000 students, including graduate students on this campus. If 12,000 people commit, that's a really big impact that you can have.
The little recycling triangle has 3 R's, and the first 2 that I consider to be the most important are reduce and reuse. And if you can reduce your consumption, find ways to reuse things that might otherwise go into the waste stream, then that's an instant difference, and that difference accumulates. 1 paper towel, not 6.
Only use what you need.
Stainless steel water bottle instead of plastic.
Use both sides of your paper. If you don't need to print it, then don't.
Conserving water when you take a shower, when you brush your teeth or shave is important. If we all do this, we're making a pretty big impact.
The average water faucet puts out 2 gallons of water a minute. So if you don't turn it off when you're brushing your teeth, you're wasting a lot of water. The same as for washing your face or your hands.
Recycling recyclable materials. Charleston County allows you to recycle aluminum, glass, newspaper and office paper, cardboard, and various kinds of plastics. We all really need to be doing this. Across the country, various municipalities are adopting ordinances that mandate recycling. That hasn't happened in our community, but it shows you what needs to be done and what may be coming our way. Bicycling is one way that, particularly if you live on the peninsula, live near the campus, is one way that you can really make a big difference. And actually, you'll come to learn that it's a lot more convenient than owning a car, because parking a bike is a lot easier thing to do than park a car in downtown Charleston. So bicycling is something that's really growing in this community, and it looks like the community is beginning to take a very embracing outlook toward bicyclists, and we'll see more bike lanes going in, roadways, that sort of thing.
Get a ride. Carpool with somebody else. Try the CARTA system. It's free for college students.
Mass transportation is a potential solution to some of the environmental problems that are being experienced here.
Every time you leave a room, make sure you turn off the lights. Don't leave your cell phone plugged in when you leave the room, or your laptop. Phantom energy is draining the system.
Conserving electricity and energy in general is a really important thing. Don't leave a classroom if the light's still on and you're the last person out. Turn that light out. If there's nobody coming in right away for 15 minutes, it's a gainer. So little things like that really are, when you put them together, very important.
As we all think about these things, then you can make little decisions about things that you can do, and they make a difference.
Students comprise a huge percentage of people in the United States. So students are in this really unique position to be able to say, you know, we as a college are making this initiative, and you know, there's 12,000 students, including graduate students on this campus. If 12,000 people commit, that's a really big impact that you can have.
I think one of the most important things, though, that a college student can do is to work in this institution to make it a greener institution. There are some great things that the college has done, and there are plenty of models around the country that other colleges have employed, whether it's having college-wide recycling or having mass transit or using the rowing machines to generate energy for the physical plant. All of those things are important and eventually transform an institution into a different kind of place. And that, I think, is the one thing that perhaps is the most exciting that a college student entering as a freshman the College of Charleston can do, and by the end of his or her senior year say, I really made a difference in changing the culture of this place.
One of the really cool things about the College of Charleston is that the culture here really invites participation on the part of the students and engagement on the part of the students. That's part of the liberal arts and sciences experience, the way this college sees it.
The Student Affairs Division at the College of Charleston really believes that we are here to serve the students. That's why it's so important to use your voice and to say, this is what we want to happen, because that's all we can gauge things from. So the more you tell us, the more we're going to listen, and the more we're going to do it. One of the things that as a student you're really lucky about is the way that the Charleston community connects. And whether, you know, whatever your interest is, you're going to find a way to connect the environment to that. So if you're interested in politics, you could work with the Charleston Green Committee, that's with the City of Charleston. If you're interested in nonprofits, you can work with Coastal Conservation League. If you're interested in school clubs and meeting more students while you go green, you can work for, you know, volunteer with Alliance for Planet Earth, the Sustainability Committee on campus. As I mentioned, there's, you know, individual efforts that go on just through our office, not to mention all these clubs and groups that get together. Other possibilities are if you belong to a fraternity or sorority or some sort of honor society, when you guys do your community service project as a group, opt to do something that's for the environment. Make that decision, say that's what your initiative is going to be, and you can pick whatever you want to do, and you can work with, you know, all of these different organizations. As you work with a group and as you work as an individual, you can change what's happening here on campus. So that's really important for you to know and to understand, because that's how we are where we are right now. That's why we have a sustainability committee. That's why we just got all these great new recycling bins all over campus, because students said that they wanted that. Students fought for that and said, this is important to us and it's happening.
You're here to learn at this college, and there are wonderful professors who can convey a lot of knowledge, but you're also here to help. You're here to help this place become a better place by pitching in, changing things around, and shaking things up. It's important and it's fun.
So now that you've seen how easy it is to go green, it's your turn. Where do you start? Well, with yourself. First, get involved and get active. Next, think about what you're doing. What are you buying? What are you consuming? And what are you creating? How is that affecting other people around you? And what can you do differently? Think about how things are produced, how they're constructed, how they're destroyed, and where they go when you're done with them. And in the end, it really is up to you to make a decision. So my question for you is, what are you going to do in your 4 years here?